following program is a presentation of the Anchorage Borough School District ITV Production Center.
I was born in Chicknick, Alaska, a little fishing village on the peninsula, in 1913, and had a brother and sister. Sister was the oldest, and then I was second, and my brother was the youngest. In 1916, my dad put us in the Jessley home in Alaska. My mother died when I was 3 years old, and he found out about this Jessley home, and little Dora was a mailboat running out there, and it was, well, she was sort of a steam schooner, sail and steam, and sort of slow, but she made the trip from Seward to Alaska once a month. That's how I got to Alaska. I don't know how many children there were, but they had a boys' building and a girls' building, and we had a lot of fun there. I mean, there was a lot of kids the same age, and we had work to do, and just like home, Teachers were real nice. You learned a lot. And we had a territorial school, and I just married one of the girls there that used to be in the mission with me, Ann. Her name was Ann Gretchen. Her and my brother were the two youngest in the mission at the time. In 1925, when they moved, the girls, they went on the Coast Guard cutter Haida. And we went on the old cutter Bear, Coast Guard cutter Bear. And it was a lot slower. It was an old steam schooner too, and sail and steam. But the Haida was fast, and it took her only 4 days, where it took us a week to get to Seward. And this contest is the only thing I know about. Is they had it, they sent word to all the schools that they wanted all the children from the 7th grade through high school that could enter. I remember I drew 2. I think one was horse or snowshoes and a gold pan and pick and shovel in the middle. I don't remember whether I sent that in or not. And the other one was the Big Dipper and the North Star, and I put 1867 right under the Dipper, and that's the only thing they changed, was to take off that 1867. With the drawing, you had to either describe your flag or what it represented. So under the one I send in, the Dipper, I wrote the blue field is for the Alaska sky, and the forget-me-not, the Alaska flower. And the North Star is for the future state of Alaska, the most northerly in the Union. And then the Dipper is for the Great Bear, symbolizing strength. That's what I wrote underneath the design I sent in. Well, when they mailed the design, I don't exactly know when they mailed them in, but returned them in, and never heard about, anything about the contest for a long time. And all of a sudden one day, our teacher's husband come in the room and handed her a telegram, and she just looked at it and her mouth dropped open and she was speechless. She couldn't say a word, and we didn't know what it was. We didn't know what the telegram was, and she was looking at me, and the kids were wondering too, you know. And so she handed it back to her husband, told him, she just handed it, she couldn't even talk. She handed it back and he read the telegram, and I darn near fell out of my seat, I guess. Anyway, and they closed the school that day, and so we had a day off. So that was pretty good. Everybody enjoyed it. I was presented with a gold watch. It was white gold, and it had a picture of the flag on the back, and it was engraved on the back, and the year it was designed and the date it was adopted as the official flag. It was inscribed on the back. And I got $1,000 to go to school on, and I used that to go to diesel engineering, which was quite a few years later. Well, when I left Jessley home, I went, my dad was crippled. He had a Fox Island, and so we helped him. My brother and I, we were both home, and we trapped the foxes off the island and also trapped the mainland. And I went fishing in Bering Sea or Bristol Bay. And after that, why, I went to Seattle and spent the winters down there, but I'd come north fishing in the summer. Worked in the boat yards, and I worked for contractors building houses, and took up diesel engineering, run a cannery tender up north on the engine. That was real interesting work. I enjoyed it anyway. But I always did enjoy carpenter work or boat building. And I built one home for my neighbor out there. There were 49 when I came back. I've been in Kodiak ever since. The first person I met in Kodiak was Bob Hall. And he owns Kodiak Airways, and so I started working on airplanes. And that was in '50. When I started with him, and I didn't know anything about airplanes. I just worked with guys and picked it up. And then I started in later on, after the hangar was built, I started in overhauling hydraulic units and doing a lot of fabric work, which is something now they claim is becoming a lost art. I mean, that's what some of the people tell me, see. And I do quite a bit of that because we still got quite a bit of fabric planes over there. And it's real interesting. And I do a lot of sheet metal work, riveting, and making things, because these planes are so old that if you go to buy them, you pay a young fortune for a little tiny piece where you can take the metal and make it, you know, the same thing. Only you got to use the right type of metal to do it. Well, when I was trapping out west, my stepmother, she made me what they call a camelinka. It's a raincoat, and a lot of them are made out of seal intestines, and most of them are, I think. But she made mine out of the intestines of a bear. And they take and wash that, and I don't know how they get it so clean, but they wash it, and it gets about so big, you know, they blow it up and they dry it and they stretch it out. It stretched, honestly, it must be 30, 40, 50 feet just stretched all around the place, you know, and it looks kind of weird there pulled out drying, and yet it's almost transparent when it's wet, you know. I don't know how she sewed it, but you could take that and roll it up just like one of these plastic raincoats and put it in your pocket. Real good there. It had a hood on it and modern zipper. So it was really good. I mean, it windbreak, it real warm and light. That was the main thing. When I left the mission and went back to Chicknick, why, I run into an old native by the name of Yvonne, and he trapped out close to where we had our fox out. He was on the mainland and we were on the island. But in the summer, that summer I was over there, why, he had a bidarky, and it was one of the big ones, 3 holes in real good size. And he had 2 boys and himself, and they'd paddle it around. But he come into Chicknick there one morning, and they landed on the beach in front of the store, and here they come out. 3 men got out, and out of the holes come a bunch of kids, about 6, I guess, maybe 7. Just came out of the bidarky. And I asked my dad, and he told me, he said that's how they always traveled. He said they'd shove the kids down inside and they'd take off. Well, this Yvonne, he was the one that had the Barabra for his trapping cabin. And it was big. I mean, it was a large building. But half of it is underground, and you gotta bend down to crawl into it. And you get inside, and it was real big. It had windows, regular windows. It was partly modern. And the windows were right level with the ground. And the rest of it, on top of the ground, was all sodded. And they'd frame these with just driftwood, you know, try and get 2 by 12 or planking, any kind of planking. And that's what they used for floors, too. I mean, and these floors they'd keep them immaculate. They were clean. I mean, really scrubbed them. And on the outside, why, it was, where they'd stand up grass, and then they'd pack sod against it. They'd build it up with sod. And then the roof, they'd taken this beach grass, and they'd lay it just like shingles. Since I won this flag contest, why, I've been honored all over. I mean, all over the state of Alaska. One of the biggest thing that ever happened, I think, was when they flew the Alaska flag to the moon with the other state flags. I think that was quite a deal, because I'm supposedly the only flag designer, state flag designer alive. I've been introduced that way.